Hi, my name is Marie Alfano. My story, which happens to be one of my favorite memories, is titled Moonriver. It's being performed by an amazing cast. Actress Karen Wexler, dancer Matthew Steffens, and singer Javier Ignacio. I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I enjoyed writing it.
Moon River, wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday. Oh, dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way.
Saturday nights were always my favorite time. My dad worked long hours during the week. He left before my sister and I woke up and came home long after we went to bed. But Saturday night, he was ours, with the added benefit of knowing he didn't have to work the next day. So while my mom cleaned up and did the dishes, we would head into the parlor and get ready to play some games. The games didn't have a name because my dad made them up using things we had around the house. Sometimes he would take his fedora and place it upside down in the middle of the floor. Then we would take a playing card and hold it between our thumb and pointer finger and flip it into his hat. My dad was pretty good, probably from playing since he was a kid himself. But my sister and I would collapse into giggles as our cards sailed through the air in every direction, hitting everything but the fedora. Some Saturday nights, it was the empty milk bottle on the floor, and we pitched pennies. The best part of these Saturday nights didn't happen until after my sister and I went to bed. We lived in Jersey City, and we had what they called railroad rooms. No hallways, just one room after the other, like railroad cars. As I came through the front vestibule, I entered the parlor, then on through the bedroom I shared with my sister. As I continued, I entered the kitchen, and then my mom and dad's room. Because the rooms were small, my parents' hi-fi stereo found its home in our room. The hi-fi was my parents' one luxury. They loved listening to music. On Saturday night, it was Johnny Mathis, Jimmy Roselli, and maybe a little Sinatra. As my sister and I snuggled into our beds at the end of the night, my mom hung up her apron, and my dad turned on the hi-fi. He stacked the albums on the turntable with their favorite Saturday night songs. Then we heard the distinctive drop of that first album, and their night began. The one song I always remember them dancing to was Moonriver. It must be 60 years ago, but whenever I hear that song, I'm transported back in time. My parents stepped close to each other and began to dance, slowly, around our small kitchen.
Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbow's end, waiting round the bend.
Even at our young age, we could see how in love they were. The bright lights in the little kitchen were dimmed under the pretense of them keeping us from falling asleep. In the shadows, I could see Mom and Dad holding each other and slow dancing. My dad wearing his faded chino work pants, his hair always with the perfect DA. He was a tall man, over 6 feet. What a stark difference from my mom, who was less than 5 feet tall. Somehow this difference in height worked. They fit together perfectly. My mom would be in her house dress and slippers, but my dad looked at her as though he was looking at a beautiful movie star. She was his world, and he was hers. My sister and I listened to song after song as we drifted off to sleep and our happy dreams.
We're after that same rainbow's end. waiting round the bend.
Only now do I realize how young my parents really were. They were kids themselves as we watched them dance on those Saturday nights. They eloped when they were just 17 and had 2 kids by the time they were 20. So while they had all the responsibilities of adults, they were still 2 very young people deeply in love. As time passed and they grew older, they would always make time to turn on the radio and dance to a song or 2 in their kitchen. They slow danced for the next 52 years. In their hearts, always 2 teenagers deeply in love.